Hey everybody, it's September 27th. I'm Reagan the Doom Wizard. This is Catching Up with Reality because I'm not even going to miss a beat. So much going on in the world right now, but thanks to your help, I was able to secure a place to live and turned it into a vlogging space so I can continue to document and have this discussion about the collapse of our civilization as we know it, because things are happening fast. In fact, have you seen the September temperature anomalies? Very, very warm, exceptionally warm in Antarctica and the Arctic, around the world, heat records being broken. September unimaginable by any of our standards that we've been living on. What might be contributing to all of this? A developing super El Nino. This from the Washington Post. Quote, decades of burning fossil fuels and deforestation have pumped heat-trapping gases in the atmosphere, and the vast majority of that heat is absorbed by the oceans. We're now seeing the wrath of the heat as it's unleashed back into the atmosphere. From Jennifer Francis at Woodwell Climate Research Center, who you're all familiar with. Continuing, other factors may contributing to the warming. Zeke Housefather, who, side note, just had a kid. What? Unbelievable. Reduced emissions from shipping liners, allowing more sunlight to reach the oceans, which are warming them fast. The 2022 eruption of the South Pacific underwater volcano Hunga Tonga. My subscribers have pointed this out to me many times, I'm aware, which sent vast amounts of water vapor into the atmosphere, and the ongoing upswing in solar activity, a natural variation in the sun cycle, which climate deniers like to point as a reason of our warming, because the planet will be fine, according to Bill Gates and many others. Yep, this is going on. And in addition to the record warmth in the Antarctic and Arctic, this is likely the warmest summer on record, as well as the warmest year on record, though we'll have to wait for the totals to come back. Yep. On top of all this, according to a new research by, Columbia, found that during higher temperatures, as you might suspect, hospitals see a larger number of drug and alcohol-related admissions. The study was published in the journal Communications in Medicine. They examined hundreds of thousands of alcohol and substance-related disorders visits across New York State over the past 20 years, and then they compared the lowest temperatures and found a 24.6% increase in alcohol-related hospitalizations, and for substance abuse, including opioids, cocaine, cannabis, and sedatives, they found the same temperature increase. Hospitalizations rose 38%, with cocaine specifically rising 37%. Not exactly surprising that heat stress plays a toll on our sanity. No doubt. I'm from Texas, and I got away, thankfully, because I know where that state's headed, as well as Arkansas, Florida, and all these states not suited for climate change. When heat indexes rise above, let's say 110, close to 120 degrees for weeks on end, which is likely to come by the end of this decade, I don't anticipate we will have the resources to cool and manage millions of people. Yeah, I don't see it. I do not see it. I'm in Ohio now, which is not much better. It's a trash can state. Literally, it feels like living in a trash can. But a man's got to have a plan. And thanks to all of your support, I'm still able to continue this program and this discussion about our demise. I recently checked out Professor Jim Bendel's work and writings. He anticipates global societal breakdown around 2028, and I can't say I don't disagree with him, given all the recent trends and having been following this for the past few years. Not to mention, it's not just climate change. I'm aware, you narcissists. There are other many factors, like, for instance, the diesel shortage, political breakdown. Gee, are we going to even have a sane and democratic election after 2024? I doubt it. We are irreconcilably broken and disconnected from each other. I see no future for this country. Sounds stark, but it's the truth. 5 more years. Sounds about right given the recent trends in the past 5 years. But a man's got to have a plan. And I thought about where I should live, what I should do. Obviously, this channel, my purpose was to create this content and document it and observe it, witness it with all of you. It's been a life changer. Though I couldn't resist and emailed Mr. Professor McPherson about where he might go given our last decade and to live comfortably. Because as I said, living in Phoenix, Texas, Florida, Arkansas, Louisiana, all the southern states is no fun when it's over 100 degrees every single day in the summer. Been there, done that. Sweating, traffic, people get angrier, more substance abuse. And, well, he said with enough money, if money and time weren't an issue, he said Hawaii or New Zealand. I know he's answered this before, but I had to ask it again. If you want to chime in on your best place to live to ride out our last decade, please do so in the comments. So this is Catching Up with Reality. It's been your update. Not even missing a beat. Not even missing a beat. On a personal note, I picked up some Galaxy Buds 2 because I'm still a consumer in this capitalist society, and I live next to a busy highway road, and I hear traffic nonstop. Considering I drive for a living, it's definitely played a toll on my sanity the past few days. Luckily, it was printed with soy ink in Vietnam, so, we know we can be grateful that I'm doing something good for the planet and being renewable. Yep. So a man's got to have a plan, and today I'm thinking about where I should go next because I cannot live in this trash can for much longer, though I do need to get my finances in order, pay off a credit card, be in good financial condition. I mean, men live like I do all over the world in little shanty towns and cages in China and Russia, the destitutes. And unlike many of you who've been through my situation before in your younger days, things are different now because a stick of butter is $5, and literally wages have not kept up over the past 20 years. So it's equivalent to living in something like the Great Depression. I picture people in coal mines and sleeping on top of each other. Not much far from that. Meanwhile, there's an abandoned house, a perfectly good house, right when I walk outside the door, just taunting me. Empty and unfurnished. Gee, we couldn't have redistributed the wealth and gave safe, adequate housing for all, but keep feeding into the billionaires who say that we need to work harder. I'm with Bernie Sanders. That comment was disgusting. So my plan is to get myself in order, pick myself up by my bootstraps, and perhaps go more north. Not Minnesota. I can't do Alaska. Too cold. It's already cold enough here during winters. I'm dreading winter. And I know it's not much better than Northeast, but apparently, according to most recent Policy Genius, best and worst states for climate change, Vermont, where Professor McPherson lives, is actually an ideal place to ride out our last decade. It's rainy, it's not as populated, but at least I'm not living in a trash can. The Doom Wizard needs sanity to continue his work, and your support. Hit like and subscribe because this is the greatest story ever told. This is humanity's chapter coming to a close. As the UN Secretary General said, again, we have opened the gates of hell. We are on thin ice. We will pass 1.5 already, or in the next few years. As far as I'm aware, we've already maybe past 2 degrees Celsius in September, global average, and be there with you for all of it. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.